Hi guys, happy Tuesday. How are you? It is Craftastic Tuesday. Welcome to Dress It Up Buttons. I am Sarah Ellis and I am here to show you a really fun and easy craft project that I feel like you're going to really enjoy. I think the kids are going to love this one. If you've got your kids at home with you, you've got your grandkids at home, if you're running out of things to do, this is an easy one that they are really going to enjoy, and the results can either be kid-friendly or really beautiful. So you can kind of take this exact project and turn it into a lot of different styles, right? Styles, that was the word I was looking for. So what you're going to need for today's project is really minimal when it comes to materials. So I'm hoping, at least for the next little bit for all of our Facebook Live projects, that I really want to try to keep it minimal when it comes to the materials, just because right now I know that it is kind of hard to get your hands on craft supplies if you are self-quarantining and are not going out. So I'm hoping to give you projects where you can use things that you may already have. And I think this is probably one of those projects. So what you're going to need is 8 craft sticks. And what I mean by craft sticks are these trusty little popsicle sticks that, hey Kathleen, you did find me. Popsicle sticks. If you don't have craft sticks and you have a freezer full of popsicles, put those kids to work, because you're going to need 8 of these. And they actually come in a lot of different sizes, which I did not know until just recently, that you can get craft sticks in like a wide variety of sizes. So they come in the large ones, kind of like when you go to the doctor, the tongue depressor size. You can get those, you can get the extra long ones. It really makes no difference. This is going to work the same way no matter what you use, but you're going to need 8 of these. You're also going to need a medium-sized clothespin. This guy is a step down from just the standard size. And clothespins, I even have some little tiny ones. I can't reach them, or I would grab them. But clothespins come in a wide variety of sizes too. Who knew, right? I had no idea. So the regular clothespin is about this tall. This is the next step down. Grab this guy. Unless you're using the extra long craft sticks, then you're going to need the regular size. So there you go. All right, last but not least, well, you're going to need your hot glue, of course, but you're also going to need a little bit of yarn. And this is a great yarn buster project, right? If you have leftover yarn, I know that for whatever reason you probably do. I always end up with like these little tiny balls of yarn, and it's not enough to really make anything substantial out of necessarily, but it's perfect for this project. So if you've got any yarn scraps, grab those. If you don't have yarn scraps, you can use any kind of cording, cotton cording, twine. You can even do this with ribbon. So this is a really versatile project that, like I said, you can take this from kind of kid-friendly to absolutely beautiful, depending on what your mood is. And last but not least, you're going to need some Dress It Up buttons. And I am using some super cute ones. I am going kid-friendly today with mine. So I'm using Splish Splash and Mermaid Kisses. I'm going to use a combination of both of these, but you can do this exact project with any of your favorite Dress It Up buttons. I pulled out some other ones that I thought would be really cute as well. You could use football, so you could do your favorite teams, colors, baseball, little monsters. So really there is a Dress It Up button for anybody, and this is one of those projects that's going to translate. Anybody is going to love this. Okay, super easy to do. So let's get down to it, and let's take a look at these Dress It Up buttons first. All right, so a little crooked here, but I'm trying not to press my luck with my my tripod. I've been really hard on tripods this week. So all right, so our Dress It Up buttons for today's project are these little mermaid kisses, and I'm just going to dive right into them because I love them so much and I want to show you. So this is Splish Splash, and it has mermaids too, but they're a little bit more kind of grown up. Like these are the little baby mermaids, and these look like little teenager mermaids. Or mom mermaids, whichever. But I love these because the colors, of course, and that's great with a lot of the collections from Dress It Up buttons. They go together really, really well. Everything coordinates very well. So we're going to use these two little cutie pies. Oh, sorry, stay in the frame. That would be good. These two little cutie pies, we're going to use some of their little friends, their dolphin and their turtle. And then I also want to use the extra dolphins that are over here in the other little package, and some of these cute little starfish. So we're really going to dress up the photo frame with our dressed up buttons, and this is probably good for a little girl's room, but you know, you could do football, you could do monsters, you could do birds, you could do literally anything. And if you wanted to take this to a grown-up level, then there is a huge selection of Victorian and vintage, just really beautiful buttons. So this will work for everybody, right? And dressed up buttons is like that. There is a dressed up button for everybody. So I'm going to sit these guys to the side, and we are going to put together our little photo frame, and then I'm going to show you how to get this going. So the craft sticks, just like I said at the top of the show, there are a wide variety of sizes and styles of craft sticks. You can even do this with paint sticks. Just use whatever you've got on hand. And if you're feeling desperate and you can't get to a craft store, you don't have any of these, you don't have any popsicles in the freezer, you can always use twigs from outside, and it looks beautiful. Like, it's very rustic. And of course, you guys know there is a rustic Dress It Up buttons that would work perfectly for that as well. Okay, so 8 of these guys, and we're going to use hot glue for ours just for time's sake, because hot glue dries very, very quickly. But if you're going to let the kiddos do this craft, I definitely recommend, instead of using hot glue, to use craft glue. The only difference is that it takes a little bit longer to dry, but it is going to be just the right strength to hold all of this together. Okay, so you don't need a heavy duty glue for this. So I'm just taking 2 of the craft sticks and laying them side by side, and I'm just going to run a little strip of the hot glue right down here on the edge. And we're going to do exactly what you are envisioning. We're just going to build a square. And I'm doubling this up because I like the thickness of the 2 craft sticks instead of 1, but you could do this with 1 single craft stick if you wanted to, okay? Running a second one right next to it. Okay, just glue that down, and then move over here to the other side and do the same thing. It never fails when I do Facebook Lives in the daytime, my neighbors decide that they need to mow. And it's always a different neighbor on a different side, so I apologize if you hear my neighbors mowing away. It's a beautiful day here though, so I'm not going to complain too much. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Yeah, guys, if you don't mind to share this to all of your crafty groups, that would be very much appreciated. All right, so we've got 3 sides done. I'm just going to flip this guy over, and we'll get the rest of this glued together so that we can move on to the fun part. A lot of craft groups out there on Facebook. So speaking of Facebook groups, if you are not a part of any craft groups on Facebook, now would be a really good opportunity to join some and get some inspiration for all this time that we seem to be spending at home. But definitely wait until after the video. Don't go away. Don't go away. All right, so just gluing those 2 sides down. So we have one of these very simple frames. Mine's not perfect. That's okay. I'm not mad at it. You guys have seen these. Everybody did these in summer camp. And at this point, a lot of times, you would just glue the picture to the back. We're not going to do this. This is the updated 2020 version of the popsicle stick photo frame. So we're going to dress this up just a little bit before. Actually, let's not. Let's go ahead and get started with the yarn on this, and then we will add. This is kind of a 2-step process, but that's all right. So I've got some yarn that I'm going to use, and I'm using this fuzzy yarn that has a multiple, color scheme to it. You can use whatever you want, absolutely anything. And we're going to wrap around the straight sections of our frame with our yarn. And we are going to get to one side where we need to attach our clothespin, but we will wait. We'll get started with this first. So the easiest way to do this is, if you're going to use hot glue, is just a strip on the back and glue down your starter piece here, your little tail, right to the back. And then you can come back in and cut this off later. And I'm going to use the hot glue, like I said, to glue mine down. But if you're letting the kids do this, take some craft glue and a strip of craft glue. Oh my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied. A strip of craft glue, words are hard today, right across the center of the two craft sticks here is going to be perfect. And because it's slow drying, they'll have time. So basically all you want to do is just wrap this around. Okay, this is super easy, super quick, and the kids are gonna really love doing this because my kids, when they were younger, always wanted to be involved in whatever I was doing. And, a lot of times the things I would do required hot glue and I couldn't really let them get involved. This is one of those where just changing the glue up means that they can get right in the middle of it. And if you want to take this to a whole nother level, you can paint your craft sticks, because on the ends, you're definitely going to have some of the craft stick, the corners are going to show. So we're going to glue, some dress it up buttons to ours. You can, you can glue buttons here if you want to, but you can paint your craft sticks so that they're not just that solid color brown. Okay, so just for a second, imagine, okay, because this is just craft sticks and yarn, pretty straightforward and very kid friendly. But imagine for just a second, if you would, doing this with some painted craft sticks or the craft sticks that are straight on the end so that it doesn't look nearly as popsicle stickish. The flat-ended craft sticks and one of your very favorite ribbons or your very favorite yarn, the softest yarn that you have, something with maybe a gold fleck that is running through it or a silver fleck that is running through it. So you can take this exact design, as simple as this is, and take this to a very grown-up place, okay? So don't dismiss this as just a kid's craft. I promise you, if you really give this some thought, you can take this to a really elegant place using your sticks from outside instead of your popsicle sticks. That's going to make a really grown-up version of this as well. All right, so I'm right here at the end. I'm going to take a strip of hot glue. If you're using craft glue, you don't have to do this part. Just to lay that down, okay? And I'm going to just continue with the same piece, so I'm going to bring that on around just like I was going to wrap again, but now I'm going to make the turn over to the other side. So you won't notice it on the back, you won't notice it on the front, and you just want to keep going, okay? If you're using craft glue, though, I definitely recommend the craft glue going straight across, straight across the side here instead of just a couple of strips of the hot glue to hold this down, because there definitely is a difference in the strength there. Okay, so I'm going to stick this one to the side because I don't want to be here forever with you guys. Not that I mind, but we want to get on to the fun part of this. Okay, so this one I've done 3 sides already, and it is lacking our clothespin. And again, the clothespin is another one of those things that you can really kind of change this up. You can paint your clothespin if you want to. You can put a really beautiful piece of ribbon strip over the top of this, lace, whatever you want to. You don't even have to use a clothespin. This is just what I had on hand, and I thought that was probably pretty common in your home. to have on hand, since getting to the craft store is hard to do these days. But you could use any kind of decorative hook here that you wanted. I'm just using this because I really like kind of the modern feel to this. You guys have seen those photo, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just a photo collage where it's just really beautiful cord, and then it has the clothespins on it, and you just clip the pictures to it. This is kind of that same idea, but you just want to take your clothespin and you want to hot glue this to the middle of one of your sides. Okay, so just adding a strip of hot glue here. And I want to center that up. Give it a good look before you really kind of press it down. And again, if you've got the kids on this project, then you can, hey Trisha, you can use craft glue for this part as well, okay? Definitely make this kid friendly. Okay, so now we need to finish up with our yarn or your cord, whatever it is that you're using. Okay. And just wrapping around. Okay, now we're going to skip over, right? And we're just going to the back. So we're just crossing over to go next to our clothespin. And I've done this a couple of different ways, just playing with this exact same project. You can actually glue the clothespin on last over the top of your yarn if you want to. The only problem is that if you're using really soft yarn, it tends to make your clothespin wiggle. So to avoid a wiggly clothespin, I glue mine directly to the craft sticks here. All right, so we're getting up here to the end. And then we are going to bring in our dress it up buttons, because that's where the magic happens. Really take this to a fun, personalized place. All right. Last one, I'm going to do a small strip of glue here and then wrap that to the back. And I'm going to do another small strip of glue here. Okay, and bring that in. All right, so now we need to trim off. I've lost my scissors. We need to trim off our end. And at this point, if you've used craft glue, you might want to let this sit for about 15 minutes. Just to let that glue kind of set down before you really start to add extra things to this. But about 15 minutes is probably plenty of time. You don't need to let this sit, you know, for any longer than that. I know that if you've got kiddos involved, they are going to get impatient and we'll be ready to move on to the next step. So what we're going to do next is we're going to bring in our really fun dress it up buttons for this. And you're going to need either a really sharp pair of scissors or a cutter tool, because each one of these is a shank style button, so it has the loop on the back. You just want to come in with your cutter tool and trim off so that now you've got a really good flat surface to work with. Just pick out whichever dressed up buttons you want to use for yours. I'm going to take all of the ones that I want to use and go ahead and trim off the shank on the back. And I feel like at some point we should probably have a Facebook Live where we do nothing but sew shank buttons, because there is definitely a trick. I'm not big on sewing. I never really learned a lot of sewing. I can sew a button and I can sew a shank button, which a lot of people don't realize is a little bit different, right, than sewing on a regular button. So maybe we should plan to do that, because these are definitely made to sew on. I like to glue mine to things, but you can definitely add your dress it up buttons just like you would any shank style button to whatever project you are working on. And that may involve a little bit of sewing. Okay, so I think That was almost all of them. I'm gonna save my groaner upper. I'm just making up words as we go, guys. I'm gonna save my more adult mermaids for another project, and this cute little seahorse, I'm gonna set these to the side and save those. These are the guys we're gonna use for our project. So they are all trimmed up and ready to go. So now all that's left to do is just decide where you want these cutie patooties to go on your picture frame. I kind of like that. So I'm just gonna add some glue to the back here and glue these down. And again, you can use craft glue for this, so if you've got the kids involved and you don't want them using the hot glue, this is completely doable with a craft glue. Glue those down, okay. And then I'm going to glue some on the edges as well. Let's see. And if you wanted to, you can glue here on the corners so that your craft sticks don't show. You can cover those up. I'm going to show you one that I did with twine when we get finished here so that you can see just some different options that there are for using your dress it up buttons. Oh, as I glue this to my finger. I think a whole little collage of these would be really cute in a child's room. I just love how when you add a dress it up button to something, it just takes it to a whole different place, right? I mean, we started out with a yarn picture frame. Everybody has done those. We've done those in, you know, in summer camp. We've done them at home when we were kids. But adding your dress it up buttons to it, I mean, it just really gives it personality that it did not have before. And because there is a dress it up button for everybody, you can really personalize your everyday crafts and turn them into really personal works of little works of art, right? Add our last little, okay, you can't tell me that's not adorable. How cute is that, right? Hanging in a little girl's room, I love it. I think that it is super cute. And one of my favorite things about this is that because we're using a clothespin to clip our photo, and I'm just going to use this as an example, right? This is a really bad example, but to clip your little picture here, just imagine for a second, that's a better picture. But you can change the pictures. And that's what makes this really, really cool, is that, you know, if you hang this on the wall or wherever it is that you're going to display this, then you can change the picture up. You get tired of that one, you can clip on a different picture. Or it doesn't have to be a picture at all. You can clip whatever you want to display here in the middle. You could hang an ornament. You could, you know, you literally can hang whatever you want to instead of gluing a photo to the back, which I think is probably the standard way that these little frames are created. But you know, once you glue a photo down, you can't take it back. So this is a way to be able to change up whatever you've got going, you know, in the center here. Kathy says my granddaughter will love that frame, right? I think this is just a really fun and sweet project that the kids are going to love. You can do it for girls or boys, teenagers, it makes no difference. And you can change up every single bit of this using twigs, using your favorite, you know, cords, whatever is going to make this either kid friendly or, you know, an adult version of this that could be really, really beautiful. So a really fun one, simple to do. Hopefully I've given you an idea of something that you can do with things that you already have around the house. I'm really trying to keep it that way because we're all supposed to be staying at home. So, You know, you guys, if you've got craft things laying around and you don't know what to do with them, send me a message. We'll come up with something. I want to be able to utilize what you guys have on hand right now instead of putting together a project that you feel like you can't make it until this is all over with, okay? So this was a cutie little version of this, and then just a little bit, something a little bit different. I used twine for this one and covered the whole frame in twine, and then my dress it up buttons for this one were just beach themed, so a little bit more grown up beachy with my starfish and my seashells, and you know, so this one is a little bit different. You've got a lot of different options here when it comes to these little frames. I thought they were super cute, super fun. Definitely a great way to use your dress it up buttons. All right, guys, I'm going to turn you around here, and we will say our goodbyes for our Tuesday. Thank you, Trisha. So I hope you guys are doing okay at home. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're well, and you are crooked. I hope everybody is hanging in there, you guys. The days are going by, and that's okay. It's okay. Sarah James and I were talking the other day, and, you know, it's better a month in than a week in, right? If we were just starting out again, it seems very daunting, but I feel like, you know, we're making it. We're getting there, and hopefully I'm giving you guys some inspiration, fun little things. Look how cute. That's so adorable. And you could do this with any of your dress it up buttons. Totally change it up. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the kids will love it. It's going to keep everybody busy for a little while, right? A good afternoon project, you know? Good stuff, good stuff. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon and a great rest of the week. You can see me again here, same time, same place next week. I'll have another fun and simple project for you guys to do. And if you've got any suggestions, definitely reach out, send a message to the Dress It Up Buttons Facebook page and let us know what you would like to see. I am up for suggestions. I want to help you guys, you know, use up the craft things that you've got around the house with your Dress It Up buttons. So definitely let us know what we can do for you, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye, guys.